Yeah, I think we're ready to go live. Hello, everyone. Star Paradigm here, along with Gray Paladin. He has something that he'd like to say to everybody.
So I'd like to apologize to the masses. I thought it was supposed to start 1 a.m. my time, but apparently in Belgium, we have already experienced daylight savings last weekend. So the time difference is only 5 hours instead of 6. And apparently y'all in the States have not yet shifted. So I thought I still had an hour left to go. And Paradigm sent a message that says, like, bro, where you at? So my fault. My apologies for the delay. I will drink an extra beer tonight for that.
And what were you doing?
For that faux pas. I was watching television with
the
lady.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at television.
Yes. Let me pour my beer here. Oh, and I'd also like to inform you that my beer is also 12%.
Nice. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a introductory sip. Oh, here, yeah, this is what I have. Greylock.
Oh.
When I purchased this, I actually received a congratulations from the proprietor of my local the store where I get my libations, muffins in Whately, Massachusetts. Thank you very much. And mostly because that was very expensive and that was a really good sale for them. But anyway, cheers.
Cheers, my friend. Yes.
Here we go.
Let's do this.
That's good. I only have 4 of these, but I could never drink 4 of them because it would probably kill me.
Yeah, I have 2 of these here, and if I feeling really randy, then I'll go and grab a couple more.
Okay, so people made a lot of good suggestions for topics, and what I did was, because I meant to kind of take them and convert them into kind of a readable form that I could have in front of me, but unfortunately work did not allow that because it was madness, and I could have in front of me, but unfortunately work did not allow that because it was that was a weird little. What was that? A little delay.
I was logging in on my phone so I can type comment and answer comments. I don't know how to do that on my computer while it's up and going.
It was weird.
Oh, hey, Legeti Artique hopped in. I wasn't sure if he was going to make it or not, but
hey, actually,
it's obviously late for him.
Le Jedi, I've got something for you. That's your Revan sound font, and I was also playing with my BK Saber sound fonts tonight before the event started.
I have to update all of my BK Saber stuff.
Yeah, I have to on my Creed. That's the only Saber I haven't done it yet. This happened to be the one I felt like grabbing tonight, but it hasn't been updated. So I have.
And I've been meaning for a while to do a video just on his stuff, just talking about his fonts and doing some reviews and things like that. I want to start doing like actual font reviews for my musically trained ear, really listening into some of this stuff and approaching some of the fonts like I do the Saber reviews and see how that goes.
Yeah,
but I want to do one on BK and really promote his stuff because he's got some really good shit out there.
I meant to because when I did that little what do you call it, a survey or whatever, asking everyone what sound font they want me to pick up, I was actually rooting for his Vader sound font because I kind of really want to get my hands on that one. There's so many sound fonts that I want to buy, but I have to wait till I get a little bit more money before I can kind of go nuts. But so what I was figuring to do is I have the page open with the everyone's questions on it, and I was going to start with Gala Sabers and Minnie. He had a few questions, and see if we can give any kind of like reasonably cognitive answers. This is going to be complete improv on my part. So let's see. His first question was he wanted our recommendation for beginners, specifically for budget friendly sabers, and I'll just leave it at that. And obviously, the thing is like, I was thinking about it, and it's obviously, predicated on budget and what someone's looking to get out of the whole process. I mean, a lot of people, they go into it and they just want a shelf queen and something to represent like their favorite character in Star Wars, and other people want a duel, and some people have an extreme budget, and some people want something a bit more bougier. So everything's predicated on those facets. But obviously we know what saber company is sort of ubiquitous in the saber community right now, and providing a wide range of variety as far as different hilt designs and relatively low cost is obviously LGT and all the distributors. But I could say that, honestly, I probably wouldn't necessarily recommend them as the the place to start for most people. I mean, I don't know. It's just I kind of wanted to get your opinion and sort of build on that. See what you thought.
I think when it comes to budget sabers and someone who's just getting started, I think the biggest thing to really focus on is, what are you really looking for? Is price your main motivator, or do you want something realistic? And I think sometimes trying to balance those two things plays a huge factor. And I know it can be very intimidating when you're trying to look for your first saber and you think, well, what should I get? You don't really know what all the things mean. So if you just had to throw out there, what is the best way to start? Obviously, I think LGT is a good starting point, just because they have a wide range of affordable sabers as well as expensive high-end sabers that will kind of, like you like to say, Scott, click all the boxes. It may not be the highest quality or level, but it does check all the boxes. I think, good night, Artik. Glad you popped in. So I think, honestly, for me, if I were just buying a first saber, I did a mystery box through Saber Forge, but I did the sound, so I think I ended up paying $250 for that. Not everybody has $250 to pop in, throw in for a first saber when you don't really know what you're getting. So I do think LGT is a safe way to go. But of the LGT like electronics, which seems to be like the best budget route, there's two things that I would put above that. And that would be, I think number one is still for me going to be the Flight by Ultimate Works. You can either get that directly from the store, or you can get it from the POC store. And if not that, I would also say the Saber Forge Ecos. And the reason why is because I really like the Eco hilt designs, plus you're getting the LGT electronics. I think a few months ago, and Scott, you know this very well, the Saber Forge LGT electronics really sucked. I mean, pull it out of the box and who knows what you're going to get. It's like Forrest Gump in a box of chocolates. So, but now that they've switched to the smooth swing and the RGB and all that stuff, I feel like, because we just unboxed those Defenders in our last live stream, and I'm extremely pleased with that saber. And sometimes the LGT stuff, I'll swing it on for a while, and usually it'll kind of have some issues, but I've had no problems with this Defender Eco. I think it looks great. The electronics and the board in here are really awesome, and I really enjoy swinging this and just hearing the electronics. So I think this is a really good, safe way to go for a beginner, or even better than that, just because you have a customizable option, and that's going to be the Ultimate Works Flight. Now, I got this for $99. Now I think it's 120 or 140. I can't remember, but it only has 6 fonts, but it's customizable. And that's what I really like most about it. You can actually put in CFX sound fonts in here and actually do some stuff. So that's where I would go for a beginner. What are your thoughts?
I think that one of the things that LGT has going for it is they have a sense of what the community wants, and they're making a lot more Canon hilts. I mean, the fact that they came out with the Canon Jairus and an Ezra, and they just came out with snips, a pair of snips, and or whatever you want to call them, Ahsoka Tano's sabers from I guess I would say for the Mandalorian season 2, the episode she was in, her second set of sabers that just came out, although they're a bit on the expensive side. But the thing that's really kind of impressive to me is you can have it seems like everyone's getting in on that action as far as the cores go. You have like a standardized system where now you can insert Profi cores, Xenopixel. You can insert Golden Harvest V3, if you can find one. And it's just and then you can go the inexpensive route. I was looking at Outer Rim, whatever the name of that store is, and they're selling the cores for really reasonable prices and a lot of customized parts, and they sell weathered hilts and different options. And I find that a lot of companies are not just resellers now, but they're getting into customs, and they're selling a lot of variety now. I mean, there's so many different hilts. Every once in a while you come across one you look at and you go, that's an LGT. That thing's fabulous.
They stepped up for sure. I think when the Antares came out, that was kind of like the beginning of the wave of starting to put out more attractive hilts. And now that they're, like you said, they're putting out all these different Canon hilts and things like that. So I do feel like they are stepping up a bit, but I still feel a difference in quality of design and just when you feel it.
It depends on the amount of money that you spend. I think you can get certain hilts from them that, like the Silver Crush that I got from Art Sabers, I still feel the quality of that is quite good for for an LGT. And I mean, I haven't really had too many of my LGT hilts break on me. It's just the electronics have always been the issue. But the other, getting away from LGT, I just think that a store like the Patch Store or Pack Store, whatever we call it, has anybody ever figured out what to call them?
Pox Store, like Bach, like Johann Sebastian Bach. Yeah, Pox Store.
I mean, I have my issues with them. Zach from
and a lot of people do, it seems like.
Yeah, I mean, Zach from Dark Ravens, he has issues with them. He's had some really bad experiences, and but the thing is, it's like if you go beyond that, I mean, they do have a wide array of hilts that run the gamut in price and what you can get inside them. The Asteria is a solid board. I think that's
solid board. Yep.
A lot of what they offer is a good foundation for starting a collection. If you have any problems with the sale or the product itself, I just find that their customer service just really rubs me the wrong way. And if they could just Saberforge had their issues, and they still have a bad reputation along many lines. But to me, they've never rubbed my rhubarb the way
never rubbed another man's rhubarb.
Yeah. I felt like such a bug when I was dealing with them, and I don't know why it has to be that way. Maybe it's a cultural thing, and maybe it's just like the personalities of the owners of that particular company. It just. But I don't get treated.
Some people have stressed issues with Aaron. Hey guys, this is Aaron for the Pox Duel. Some people have had issues with him. Me personally, I've never had a negative experience with him. I mean, I've messaged him back and forth a few times. He was always very friendly. They've accommodated me, and even gave me refunds. Like I ordered a saber without a hilt, without a blade. But the online store had charged me the price of the blade, so he actually refunded me that directly through PayPal and like the same day. So I haven't had any problems with them. So it just seems like it's hit or miss. Some people say they have great experiences. Some people said they haven't. I know you personally have been burned a little bit. Zach has too.
I wouldn't say
It's unfortunate.
I wouldn't say that I've been burned. I just would say that I've been
Left a bad taste in your mouth.
You know, I did, like, in the end. I mean, the experience I had buying my Master Q, it was just, you know, it was not the greatest experience buying a saber. In the end, I have a saber that I definitely cherish and value. But I don't know. I agree with you. It's you know, user mileage will vary, or whatever the appropriate colloquialism would be.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to. There's a lot of interesting comments that are popped up here.
Yeah, I'm trying to hit them all.
First addressing Galef Sabers, he is it Galef Sabers and minis. He was saying that if you're going LGT, make sure it's from a reputable reseller, which I agree with 100%. And I definitely back Crimson Dawn. I think they're one of the solid ones. Dark Wolf, I think they're pretty good. I just think they hike their prices up a bit compared to some of the other resellers. So I tend to not order from them. I get parts if they have it in stock. I usually go to Crimson Dawn first, and then if it's not there, then I check Dark Wolf. And if it's not there, then I'll check like Padawan or Rebel or something like that. But Dark Wolf seems to be on the higher end of the prices. You'll see the same hilt at Dark Wolf with a different name, and then you go to Crimson Dawn, and it's like $20 or $30 less. So that's something to consider. And Silver Bullet brought up a comment. He said that he bought an expensive Saberforge Hero Pixel, and the company says that it can't be dueled with, and he's bummed about that. Now, I have to point out, NeoPixel is not designed to be dueled with. Even if it's a so-called heavy-grade blade, they're really not designed to be dueled with. I would never duel with a NeoPixel blade, just because if you really start whacking away, you're going to damage those LEDs in there, and those blades are not cheap. Like on average, you're not going to find one constructed for less than $90. So I'm not going to sit there and go out and whacking away with a NeoPixel saber just because you damage that. That's it. You have to replace the blade, and the blade's going to cost you probably about $100 to replace. And that's just across the board. It's not just Saberforge. You go to Genesis Custom Sabers, Vader's Vault, Saber Trio, they will all tell you it's not recommended for heavy dueling when you have a NeoPixel saber.
And what I wanted was, you know, I'm just thinking about this. Why would you want to duel with a NeoPixel blade? You're not, when you're dueling, the last thing that you're taking into consideration,
you're not looking at the effects and things like that.
Your blade effects, the fact that you're getting, like, you know, clash, you know, you're just basically smashing two light sticks against each other. I think you'd want to focus rather on having a durable blade that's just going to take the blows, and if anything happens to it, fine, you just take it, you remove it from your hilt, replace it with a new one, and you're good to go. It's just, you know, if you're gonna, like, I mean, NeoPixel blades on average, I spend about $110 for my blades because I get them from Sith Lord Sabers, and you know, they're as good as I need. But if you buy you know, blades from who is it? Bendu Armory or Vader's Vault. I mean, you're going to be spending upwards to $150 for a blade that you're going to smash against someone else's blade and risk it.
You could buy another lightsaber for that price.
It's just foolish. Just like, you know, I know that, you know, a lot of people are very limited in their budget. If you can afford two sabers and you can have a NeoPixel, that's your bougie, you know, look how neat this is, and show it off to your friends, and then you have another hilt that you know, it's less expensive that you just use for your beater hilt with a beater blade.
Like, even having like a Profi or CFX, something with smooth swing, like if you're dueling, like think about it. If you've watched any dueling video, you don't hear the saber swinging around. All you hear is plastic whacking against each other. You just hear smack of plastic. You're not hearing the clashes. You're not hearing the saber sounds. So why waste that money and that time on a nice hilt and NeoPixel or anything else or smooth swing if you're just going to go out there and heavy duel. That's just my personal opinion.
Not to mention, I mean, if you have a hilt, just look at what happened to Shannon from Forged by Light, like one good hit and
Vectra, yeah.
Vectra, which is an expensive piece of kit. I mean, that went down. I mean, people do, they're going to duel with what they duel. And, there's always a chance that something untoward could, happen to their saber. So, I mean, if I was going to duel, I would not duel with my most valued saber, just anyway.
Yeah, I see you highlighted Commander Dale. He said that he orders from the UK LGT reseller, Pedal Not Post. Speaking of the UK, I just want to point this out there because I live in Belgium, who is in the EU. Now, Brexit happened last year, and now that year is up, and they are now officially out of the EU. And I always ordered my saber parts from the Saber Armory, which is KR Sabers in the UK. And I always did that because, they're in the EU. I'd order it, no import fees, bam, I was done. Well, now that I got my Count Mark II, I want to put a beefier speaker in there. So I ordered that from Saber Armory like I usually do. Well, when it came to Belgium, they said, you have ordered something from someone who is not in the EU. You don't have to pay import fees. The price of my order was $10. I had to pay €22 in import fees. So if you are in the EU and you're ordering from the UK, keep in mind you are now going to have to pay import fees because the UK is no longer in the EU. Now, obviously, if you're from the States, I don't think you have to worry about that. If you're in the UK, obviously, you don't have to worry about that. But just keep that in mind out there, folks.
So what I was thinking of doing is I'm going to ask Gabe's next question that he posted, and then I think we could tackle. You wanted to talk about the Golden Harvest, so I have my dissident here. So let's see. What was the second question he had? He said, Thank you. He said, then maybe you could talk about intermediate lightsabers you would recommend. Profi, CFX, this area that might be on the pricier side. But still
okay, so I'm pretty passionate about this, and I think this is a very simple topic to address, and that is I feel like the top three lightsaber soundboards that are available are Profi, CFX, and now Golden Harvest. Between those three, me personally, I would prefer CFX. Now, everyone likes Profi because it can do so much. That open source, that means you can share the knowledge of being able to program that board. Here's the only reason why I put CFX above Profi. Not because of its capabilities, but because of its user friendliness. If you are someone who is intimidated by programming and things like that, Profi is not for you. It's great when you get an LGT Profi saber. Well, guess what? It's already programmed. It has all these effects in there and things like that. If you want to change that, you're going to have to watch a tutorial and figure that stuff out on your own in order to make that change happen. And you're probably going to mess it up the first time. So with CFX, you can plug it into the Rice editor on your computer, and you can do it in real time and see the changes. You can click, drop, and drag fonts and things like that into the saber, whereas Profi doesn't allow you to do that. So for someone who's intermediate, who has no experience and knowledge in programming or is intimidated by it, I do not suggest Profi. I suggest to go for the CFX. Now, I think if you want something a little bit more affordable that has a lot of options, I think Golden Harvest is another good option to go for, which we will discuss a little bit later once we get into that portion of our stream.
I think I agree with you wholeheartedly. I mean, I was talking to Zach. Zach from continue to message him from Darth Raven's Nerdness. He was asking me if I wanted to buy one of his Profi sabers from him, and it wasn't something I was really interested in. But when I find out that a saber is equipped with a Profi board, I just think of the learning curve, because I've actually looked into it. I watched Sam from Absolute Sabers video installing sound fonts and blade profiles. And it's something that I feel comfortable that I can learn, but I simply don't have the time, brain power, or energy to put too much energy into it. Whereas with CFX, it's in plain English. It's easy to fathom. I've been able to do things. Just going to the Crystal Focus Net website and looking up parameters for blade profile, and they have a directory for what all the different configuration files mean and what they do, and it's a much easier system for me to learn, and then you can take a lot of that knowledge and apply it to Asteria or Golden Harvest 3. Everything's kind of like compatible, whereas Profi is really its own little beastie, and it tends to. It takes like people with a special affinity for like you said, it being an open source programming system. I believe aptitude, comes into it, but I just don't have the time or the patience for that. So I tend to avoid a Profi saber if I can, or if I need to get one, I like to make sure something pre-programmed, like a Xenopixel, which isn't a Profi, but that, or like the Profi board, my Dark Wolf Sabers Profi board came with whatever 25, 30 sound fonts, all the different blade profiles. There's a lot of variety.
But here's the other thing about Profi. Sure, like it can do a lot. It has all these crazy blade effects and whatnot, but I consider myself a traditionalist when it comes to lightsabers. Some of the crazy effects and stuff, if I haven't seen it in a movie, it seems less lightsaber realism to me. So a lot of those extra effects don't really excite me, because I don't see that in a lightsaber. Like Rainbow Blade, sure, it's cool that technology can do that, but it's not that appealing to me, because no lightsaber would be like that. So for me, doing all the extra stuff for Profi is not that big of a deal. I just want something simple and basic. I want it to swing and sound great. Not adding something like the melt and stuff like that. That's really cool, because we see that in a movie. But some of these other effects, that I don't need to see all the flame and all that stuff. Is it cool? Yes. Do I really need it? No.
I do like there's the one blade effect where the blade kind of ignites from the center of the blade, and there's certain things that are
it's cool. Like a proto saber kind of vibe to it,
Do you want to address this rice upgrade question for?
Yes, I saw that. I saw that comment from Silver Bullet. Okay, so the rice editor, it's not an upgrade. It's a software that you can download from the Plector Labs website, and what it is RICE is an acronym. I think it's real-time interactive configuration editor or something like that. I can't remember the exact abbreviation name for it, but it's a software that allows you to plug the saber into your computer. You go into that software and you can actually control the saber in the software and see the effects changes and things like that in real time. So if you want to change the color, the blade will be on and you can actually see the color changing while you're moving the mouse and things like that. You can click the clash and you can see the saber clash. So it allows you to see what's happening on the saber and then save those edits and changes that you want the saber to do. And it's very fast. You can still go into your settings on the card, like your text, your general text file, configuration file. You can change that way too with the numbers, but it's also very easy because you can see it in real time if you go into that software. Again, just go to the Plector Labs website and you can download the latest editor, put that on your computer, plug in your saber, and make your changes. And that's another reason why I put CFX above Profi for me, because I don't have to worry about the programming, the numbers, and all that stuff. The editor changes those figures for you. You just see the color and click save, and it's done. You want the effect, you can see it, click save, it's done. It rewrites it in the saber, and there's no programming necessary for you.
and the way I understand with CFX is they're making advancements to the CFX soundboard that's going to similar to like an open various towards that end. But I mean, everyone's going to have their favorite soundboard. We're not dismissing anything. Like Profi is still amazing. We're talking, just from the standpoint of like user friendliness for the average schmo. Like I go to work, I'm a printer. I'm at work for 8 hours, busting my chops. I get home and I'm tired, and I want to throw a sound font onto my. I want to throw a sound font onto my Vector to do a demo video, which I do all the time now.
I think
it takes me 2 minutes to do.
The best comparison is this. Let's say you love cars, you're excited about cars, but you don't really care about the mechanics of it. You just want to be able to get in the car, turn the key, know that it starts, and drive. That's your CFX. Now, if you're a person who likes to go to a hobby shop, change your own oil, put the air in yourself in the tire, stuff like that, you're excited about cars and you'd like to know how it works, that's Profi. So it all depends on where you are. Now, I'm not saying it's not possible to learn. Just like BK just said, there's a slight learning curve in the beginning. Once you figure it out, you're good to go. But some people just don't care. Some people just want to pick up the Saber, turn it on, and just have fun with it. They don't want to put in that work to figure that stuff out, to program it. And I get that. I've learned how to install a lightsaber. Some people don't care about learning. They don't want to install it. They just want to have it and be done with it. That doesn't mean they don't appreciate it. They sure do. They just don't want to put in that time to figure it out. So it all depends on where your interests are and what level of commitment you want in the Saber. For guys like Scott and I, like he said, you just don't have the time or the energy. You just want to swing it and have a little fun. And, changing fonts is enough, excitement for, editing a Saber for me. So,
or like I said, if I go to the Crystal Focus Net website and I go and I see a blade profile that someone made that for a specific sound font that I had, and I look at that and go, like there was one for BK Saber Sounds, the Void. And I went and I copied the parameters and I created the blade profile, and it's nice. I mean, I actually did a short video out of it, and everyone seemed to agree. So I don't know, it's just whatever you have fun doing is what you have fun doing. So like I was figuring that next, you want to do the Golden Harvest thing. Now I don't remember a damn thing about how to operate my Golden Harvest. My Saber is just a baselit one color red. So it's not NeoPixel. It's just this was a sort of a gift to me from Saberforge that I'll never forget that they did this for me. I just want to reiterate. I have my Dissonant here. It's called the Love Wrong Coda, and I dropped it on the floor. And it had the old Sabercore 3.0 soundboard in it with the 3 sound fonts, yada yada yada. That thing broke. I sent it into to Saberforge to be replaced, to be fixed, and they said, sure, we'll fix it. Just give us $85, send us in the help. They sent this thing back to me, and I think it was just simply the fact that they don't have Sabercore soundboards anymore. So they just decided to throw in a Golden Harvest. They gave me a new recharge port, new switch, and I mean, it had the same LED setup and everything. But I mean, geez, this was, and I've been wanting to get a Golden Harvest 3 soundboard for the longest time. But just the opportunities kept slipping through my fingers, with the sellers for selling me, and you know how it is. I mean, if you buy a lot of secondhand tables like I do, it's really kind of a crapshoot, like what you're going to get sometimes. So, but this has just been like, I absolutely adore this hilt. I loved it before, and now it's just, I love this soundboard. It's a real performer. It really is. It's very impressive.
Yeah, I actually ordered when Golden Harvest V3 initially came out. I actually went directly to SaberTech who's the German engineer of the Golden Harvest board, and I ordered it. I was like on a waiting list. I had to wait like 3 months or something like that. When it finally came in stock, then they sent me a notification and they shipped it to me. So my first experience with Golden Harvest was me installing it myself directly from SaberTech, and I put that in my KR Sabers flagship. And I've got videos up on this on my channel. And my initial impression when I first fired it up was this board is awesome. And then I recently got my Count Mark II that has their version of the Golden Harvest V3. And I will say between the two installs, I think it's a great board. It's on par with CFX and Profi with some of its abilities. And I think when it comes to installing, it's probably easier and better than CFX because the pads are bigger and more easy to understand. And the board is smaller, so you can fit it in smaller size hilts, whereas the CFX boards are a little bit bigger, which can take up a bit more space. But I think it's a great board. It can be a bit confusing, like when you think about editing. And I only say this because there's a lot of options that you have. When it comes to CFX, it's very clear what you can do with it, what you want to do with it, and you just make it done. But like, the thing that still kind of confuses me when Golden Harvest says blade effects, there's the on top blade effect, and then there's like the bottom effect. And I'm like, what does all this mean? So there's a lot of effects and options that you can get with Golden Harvest. Like you said, yep, PK, I got you on that.
We have been requested, yeah.
And overall, I like Golden Harvest a lot. If I had to choose between CFX and Golden Harvest, I would still take CFX, but I think Golden Harvest is really awesome.
Yeah, CFX is definitely the winner, but I don't know. There's something in the way the Golden Harvest processes the sound fonts and the accent swings, and kind of like it almost constructs it a little bit differently than any other soundboard does. I mean, it doesn't. I love my.
Well, the default, yes, because you can still adjust those things like you can. Like you could make the CFX accent and swing just like Golden Harvest and vice versa. You just have to punch it in. But I think the way that the out of the box configuration on Golden Harvest, they've nailed it pretty good on their smooth swing and how to get it right.
I'll give you that. Now, I think what we're gonna do is I'm gonna boot up. I've got my. I think this is a Forza sound font. It's there. It's his Ron Coda. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called Now I See. And I just want to kind of demo that for a second. Then you can pick one on your hilt. You probably, I imagine you'll be doing Carbophonics, or is it Carbophonic or K-Sith that does the Duke?
K-Sith is the Duke.
You have that on your.
I don't have that on my Golden Harvests yet. I still have the default packages for both of them. And the only reason why is because I plan on selling this, so I haven't put anything else on here other than the defaults, and this one doesn't have it yet. I was waiting until I put up my.
What are you selling? What are you selling? You're not selling your Mark II.
No, I'm selling the flagship.
Okay.
I can set some time for you on.
I just like that immediately responsive smooth swing. Your turn.
Okay. I'm not even sure what I have on this. Okay. It has like a residual, like when you swing it, and you feel like it goes. You get like that tail effect of after.
It has the realism that just
into the smooth. And I like that a lot. One thing, I like the default package for the Golden Harvest V3.
Yeah.
And this is, I updated this to the latest one. I think it was like 2 weeks ago. So this one's good to
New
go.
package.
Yeah, the Saber Forge one. I like that because they have all the default Golden Harvest stuff on there. Plus, they include their 10 in-house fonts, which I like pretty much almost all of them. I feel like Heirloom's one of my favorites. I love Ranger's Blade, and I like the Master. I mean, they're all pretty solid. And it's nice to hear them smooth swing too. I will say the configuration and the voice and stuff that they did for the Saberforge stuff is slightly different from the actual just SaberTech version of it. I like the Saberforge version. I think I'd like it more if the speaker was better. Like I said, I ordered one, so I'm going to replace that. But I think overall, it all sounds great, and I love hearing. I still want to order that veteran tier and hear how that works, which is like a Golden Harvest Eco version. So I think the Golden Harvest and the Hero stuff is really, really nice.
There's a distinct possibility, depending on how finances go. Like we've been talking, and it's possible that we may both be getting a Saberforge Hill, probably an apprentice, because I really want to get the Renegade. And I don't know what you were planning on getting, if you were going to get it like an elite or apprentice or whatever.
I was gonna go apprentice. Yeah, there's obviously a lot of elite hilts that I like, but I don't have an apprentice hilt. So, but one of the ones that's on my list is the Prodigy, and there was another one. Gosh, I can't think of the name right now. I got to look it up.
But we're actually both going to get the veteran soundboard, probably. I'd get RGB, definitely.
Oh, the Arbiter. I like the Arbiter.
The Arbiter, yeah. So that's something that would probably happen after the holidays, because I'm obliged to pick up. I'm actually buying Emery's
Mark 1.
Yeah, Mark 1.
Yep, this one right here. And this one has a CFX, folks. So he's getting a 2-button CFX Saberforge Mark 1 the count.
Equipped with
just NeoPixel.
With just Count Dooku sound fonts, which I already own, so there won't be any kind of illegitimate cheating. Any of our
nothing shady going on here. Yeah.
And trust me, if there's one thing that this guy, I do cherish the sound font makers. They're the ones that make this hobby what it actually is. Everything else is just hardware and glitz. They actually bring these things to life. So anyway, I know he's not here, but legit, he had asked us to address. Well, I figured I would combine two things. There's the issue of the brand new Saber that was just revealed by Saber Trio, and the fact that I believe they're downsizing their speakers on their hilts. I keep getting told. I don't know if that's like a reality. If they're going from 28 millimeters to 24 or something to that effect.
I sure hope not. I hope not, because I have done direct comparisons of 24 and 28, and 24 is a noticeable smaller,
as
less
Lando
loud
Sabers
sound
will
as a
always
28.
say. He won't buy a hilt unless he can put a 28 millimeter speaker in there. And I just don't know. I don't know where this came from. I didn't hear from Saber Trio themselves, and I visit their Facebook page often. They're very, very transparent, and I don't know where this is coming from. I guess the only way we're going to find out is by buying Sabers from them when they reopen for Black Friday for the 10 minutes that they'll be open until they sell their 800 NeoPixel hilts. But
I love Saber Trio, but that stuff is just getting to like it's irking me now. It's like that. It's not a cool way to go about. But whatever.
It's a paradigm
there is no legitimate reason to reduce or go down to 24 millimeter. If your diameter can hold a 28, put in a 28. And one thing I like about Saber Trio is their speakers and sounds that come out of it. The quality of sound that comes out of their hilts is really incredible. Like it's all like my Saber Trio Reaver was like the most clear and loudest saber that I had because it was a very nice, robust 28 millimeter. 24 does not cut it. I'm sorry, it doesn't. But after you've heard and tasted a 28, 24 doesn't cut it, which is why all those LGD sabers, yeah, they're cool, but they don't sound good in comparison to a 28. They don't.
Well, Isaac says that the Saber Trio is dropping at the 24 millimeter, and I can't fathom why.
Bad move. I feel so passionately about this to a point that when they do that, I will not order another Saber Trio because of the speaker.
I mean, me personally, I have the Saber Trio hilts that I want. After I bought, I mean, I fell in love with the Senza that you sold to me. To me, that's like the perennial Saber Trio. My collection is sufficient enough. Like I just feel like okay, until they come out with like a curved hilt saber or something like that, I'm kind of I'm all set. But I feel bad for people that will be buying their sabers in the future. It's very
They're not getting the full experience.
It's just it's a very. There must be a reason behind. Yeah. Okay. All right. Finish. Darn it.
Number 2. There you go. This is why we're here. This is why we're here. Peter Griffin. Now I'll say this though: if they're not changing their inner diameter, so. If they're going to give me a 24 and I really like the hilt, if I can order it and still fit and put in a 28, then I'll just install it myself.
I mean, it's not like they're going to change the diameter of the hilts. I mean, they should still be able to accommodate a 28 millimeter.
Which again, if you're not doing that, then why are they reducing to?
Now they'll have to change all their Delran chassis hilt sizes for it's just a weird.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I don't know why they're doing that. They don't need.
Maybe it's just a supply, like a supply chain issue. I mean, but I mean, these are not things that are going to remain consistent for eternity. I mean, things will eventually return back to normal because if
everyone knows 28 is the most desired, you only go down to a 24 or 20 because the hilt doesn't accommodate a 28 because of the size. To answer Silver Bullet, yes, it depends on the hilt. Most of their hilts will take a 28, but some of them take a 24. Like the Saberforge Count Mark II is a smaller hilt and it can only fit a 24. I tried to do a 28 and it won't fit. Which is really unfortunate because I really want a 28. But even my Count Mark I wouldn't take a 28. I tried to put it in a 28 and it won't. I had to do a 24. So it just depends on the hilt. But most of them will take a 28. Which, by the way, I have to say, Saberforge speakers suck. They're not very good. So I usually replace them with a better speaker. I just don't think they're very budget speakers and they're not very good, in my opinion. That's one of the negatives that I have for Saberforge is they don't use very good speakers. Galef, he talked about the Fallen Order Eco. This is a really nice saber and it's also ASP compatible, which I kind of made like a pike for mine. I did a video on it. So this is a good saber, Galef. So if you can get your hands on one, I know they're usually sold out, but if you can get your hands on one, go for it. It's nice. It's worth it.
Okay, so I'm gonna move on to Jedi Phoenix's question. He asked, what are the pros and cons of baselit sabers versus NeoPixel? We kind of touched upon that, but we can kind of elaborate.
That's a good question.
Yeah. Now, the thing that for me, with a polycarbonate blade you know, you can get different weight grades of, you know, the thickness of the walls of the blade. You can get something very light, which makes it very, very amenable to spinning and just an ease of handling. I find that, like, you know, I've got a lightweight, I've got just of all the things that Ultra Sabers does, the one thing that I don't mind is their blade. Everything else is, you know, we're not going to get into that, but I've had good experiences with their blades. This is a lightweight, wherever the hell they call it, ultra edge blade, and in this hilt, it makes it very spry and maneuverable, and you get the kind of feel of what an actual lightsaber might feel like, because an actual lightsaber is just going to be the weight of the hilt. It's not going to be the, you know, because light, from a standpoint of matter and physics, it does have a degree of weight, but it's nothing that's like perceivable if you were to, you know, actually be able to pick it up. So, you know, I mean, the lighter the blade, you know, for spinning and tricks and whatnot, perfect. If you're going to be dueling, chances are you're not going to be doing a lot of spinning and tricks and whatnot. You're just going to be like trying to, you know, duel. And so a heavier grade blade, obviously a lot more resilient. It's gonna serve you well. Now, as far as illumination, obviously, polycarbonate, you know, blade from a baselit hilt is not going to be as bright as NeoPixel, because there's just no way. But I believe that both Emery and I will agree. Like we've discussed it. We don't believe personally that NeoPixel blades are really worth trying to use as dueling blades. But as far as the weight of, because I'm never going to use the NeoPixel blade for that purpose. I tend to stick to the lighter weight blades because they're a lot easier to use. The heavier the blade is, the more I don't know. I don't want to feel like I'm swinging around like a tree trunk or the handle of like a shovel or something. I mean, you know, it moves around too slowly. It doesn't feel natural to me. It shouldn't feel like that. I mean, I actually, you know, I've wielded actual katanas, and you know, with a carbon blade, they're not terribly heavy. In some instances, they're, you know, comparable to something like this.
Unless you're swinging a broadsword, they're not meant to be heavy, especially on the front end or the top end. It's just not. And when you think about a lightsaber, I mean, I get flack for this. I like swinging just the hilt, because think about it. If you're swinging a lightsaber light, can you weigh light? No. So how it feels when you swing it without a plastic or polycarbonate blade in there, then that's what a lightsaber would actually feel like when you swing it, because there's no weight to light. So when people say, oh, I like these heavy grade blades, it doesn't feel natural to me to swing a lightsaber with a heavy grade blade with all this weight on the end of the saber, because that's not how it would be when you're actually swinging a lightsaber. And I think there is, to agree with Gallup and Bull Scott, that yes, I think you should have, if you're a collector or really into lightsabers, you should have a NeoPixel and a baselit. And I appreciate both. I mostly have NeoPixel sabers, but I really appreciate having in-hilt LED sabers too. And it depends on what you're looking for. If you're all about realism, you're going to get that from NeoPixel. I don't care how great your LEDs are in hilt, they're not going to be as realistic as NeoPixel, period. You're not going to get the effects. You're not going to get the brightness. That's just hands down. But if you're looking into doing a lot of flow stuff or some dueling, you got to go baselit. I mean, I'm not going to spend a lot of money on a NeoPixel saber to spin it around and drop it and do all this other stuff and start beating against, you know, another saber. I'm not going to do that with a NeoPixel. Can some handle it? Sure. Am I going to do it? No.
I kind of ran out of questions. Unless I go back a little bit. Do you have anything?
And to go with what Ike is saying, yeah, I mean, I really do like in-hilt, RGB sabers. I think they're great. And when people talk about, should I have a single color LED or an RGB? I'm always going to choose RGB because I want the options. Is it going to be not as bright as a single color? Sure, but is it highly noticeable for most people? Probably not. I'd rather have the color options than to just have a single color. And even still, I mean, a single color in-hilt LED is not going to be as bright as an RGB NeoPixel. So, I mean, to me, that's not a huge deal. But yeah, I definitely do like baselit sabers. I mean, they're nice.
I mean, the thing is like when I'm out hunting for a new hilt, I'm not usually locked into any specific. I'm pretty flexible. It doesn't have to be necessarily a baselit or a NeoPixel. Something comes across my way, and I find the what's being offered to be intriguing and the price is good. I'm willing to make concessions to get just a nice piece from my collection. And a lot of people, they lock themselves in. Like, I will only buy NeoPixel and nothing else.
Yeah, which I don't understand that.
Never gonna do baselit. Never gonna. Just not gonna do it. Just not gonna.
Same thing with smooth swing. I can live with a saber without smooth swing if it's still responsive. Like I still get off on a Nano Biscotti V4. I don't miss the smooth swing when I have like a Nano Biscotti soundboard because the response of that is so nice.
Now, if you'll forgive me for a second, there's one saber that I wanted to have down here for this session. Plus, I got to go blow my nose because I think I'm getting a cold. That'll prove your point because this saber that I'm getting, I believe it's a Crystal Shard 2.5. Yeah, something like that. So let me go get that saber. It's upstairs. It's gonna take a minute. I'll blow my nose. And you have Sergeant.
Yes.
Sergeant Craig, you have the comm.
Make it so. To go back to Gallup's point about the 7/8 inch blade, my Corbanth Sid I installed with a CFX, and it has a 7/8 inch blade, and yes, it feels really good. And some say, I think 8 to 9 sabers, you can get like the Dooku hilt with a 7/8 inch blade, or you can just get an adapter. So if you have a 1 inch, blade depth, you can get an adapter and put in a 7/8 inch blade. And I think the 7/8 inch blades are really, really nice. Me personally, I prefer a 32 inch blade. 36, I just think, not that it's too long, but it's a bit long for me, and I don't think it's balanced very well. And for me, I like to have balance. So when I'm swinging and flowing, I don't want to feel like I have to muscle to get my blade and my saber round, which is another reason why I don't care for most heavy grade blades. And I'm not a dueler. I don't duel. So having a heavy grade blade doesn't really make sense for me. I agree with you, Ike. Yes, I will never duel with my NeoPixel sabers. Photon blades that Gal mentioned. I don't have a photon blade. I hear they're really nice, and you get the most like that rat ghoul green to come out of it if you actually use a blue LED to shine through the photon blade. But when you get that to react really well, you can get some pretty cool colors and things out of those blades.
Are you stabbing me in the back while I was gone?
Absolutely not.
Was he?
I will stab you front in the face. That's how I do it. Someone asked if the Vader's Vault hilts are light. Yes, they are. They're not heavy or bulky by any means. I would say they're more streamlined and feel better than a Saberforge hilt. And Saberforge diameters are pretty small compared to the industry. Vader's Vault? No, not yet.
Well, then, how do you know?
I can just tell by looking at the pictures and reading the specs. I mean,
Well,
I
okay.
I do dimensions on my reviews. So like when I read the dimensions on these videos and on these websites, I can see that the Vader's fault hilts are smaller and lighter. I just know.
Well, I can confirm that they are definitely.
I don't have to drive a Mercedes to know that it's a good car. I mean,
All right.
even though I have driven a Mercedes.
Of course you have. You lived in Germany.
These are facts.
So I know I have a Revan Elite. I have a.
Oh, here we go. You have everything.
No, I don't. I just my collection's better. I'm sorry. So I.
It's more abundant. I wouldn't say it's better, but it's more abundant for sure.
Well, anyway, they tend to be a lot slimmer, and they do tend to be a lot lighter. The exception being the hilt I just grabbed here, which is my I just grabbed my Graflex. This is my the Force Awakens. Very available.
Before him, and now it calls to you.
And I mean, for what it is, no smooth swing, but
So you've been breaking up and very staticky on my end, and Swallow just joined us. What's up, Swallow? Good to see you. And he said that your collection might be better, Darth, but your camera / internet not so much. So apparently, I'm not the only one seeing the blur and all the breaking up.
Okay. Well, I mean, the cable people did just come and replace a bunch of the components in our cable connection. It should have been improved, but no. The company that I have, has anybody heard of Comcast?
Oh, of course. Back in the day when I used to be there. Commander Dale, yes, the Sovereign I think is a very beautiful hilt, and that was one that I was drooling over for a while, and then I saw Paradigm's review, and I thought, he said it's not very practical to hold and swing around, but I think it's a beautiful saber. Ike brought up a very interesting comment here. You should go ahead and pop that on the screen. He said we should grab our top 5 sabers and go head-to-head comparison and see whose collection wins.
Well, not tonight, but perhaps the next time. If
they already know that my camera's working better than yours, so I win that category at least. And my beer is better too.
And the funny thing is I can actually delete you. Real easy.
Hey, that just proves that I win because he is threatened by me. You just proved the fact.
Yeah, daylight savings time is Sunday. Okay, it's
okay.
Kind of weirdness.
All right, so let's give the fans what they want here. Let's pick our top 5, and we shall go from there. I already have 2 in front of me right now.
I'm downstairs. All my shit is upstairs. I'm not going upstairs again.
Perhaps you should have a lightsaber studio. That's 3. What else have I got here?
Well, you're I'm gonna answer Silver Bullets. We gotta answer Silver Bullets question. Who is your top company? I'm going to say that I'm still pretty much. I would have to say my top company, if I had all the money in the world and I could continue buying sabers from him, would be Genesis Custom Sabers. And I know that Emery, your unicorn is the Bad Axe.
Oh yes.
Probably the preeminent curved hilt saber, but I mean, it's so difficult to find one at a reasonable price. And Rob Petkow, who owns Genesis Custom Sabers,
I like Swallow here. You should just read his comments. It's awesome. You can't win, Dar. If you strike me down, I should become more powerful than you can possibly imagine. I'm about to get my cloak on right now. What the hell?
But I can be the bigger man and just admit that like I'm obviously not going to win this discussion because someone's a little bit more drunk than I am, and it's just obviously like having a.
I'm only like 25% into a quarter into my second beer. I'm used to drinking 12%. I live in Belgium. I drink Belgian beer. They don't have beer less than 7% here. You, sir, I recall, were more drunk at the last live stream than I was. So
I was having more fun. That's how that translates.
I was having loads of fun.
Load, yeah, definitely. I'm going with Isaac here. He says, actually, guys, we'd win because you both have awesome sabers, of course. You've got to do it. But we're not doing it tonight because I can show you like what I have down here. There's a bunch of LGP stuff and some stunt sabers. I've got a Ultra Saber Spectre. You know? You want to see that? Batteries are probably dead.
Okay, I've got my top 5. Number 1 being my Saberforge Vanquish with a stock.
I'll show you the true power of the dark side.
With a stock Custom Works NeoPixel connector. An amazing Saber Essential stealth speaker. I love this thing. And a gold custom powder coat. And gesture controls. It just went off right there. That's my number 1. I, of course, have to acknowledge my newly acquired Saberforge, the Count Mark II, with my thread-in NeoPixel blade. Yeah, there it is.
Wait.
Love this saber. And I also have gesture controls on this that I just put in. I did the stab ignition. Wait. There it goes. And then one of my all-time favorites, my Saber Trio Reaver, which I need to update because it's not. It's been acting funky lately. But this is what I use for most of my font demos. But awesome saber, love it. KR Saber's flagship. This definitely falls in the realm of awesomeness, mainly because I love the shine through and the emitter windows there that go through the shrouds. Love that.
Now,
This is a Golden Harvest V3.
the shrouds on that thing? How does that? Is there windows on the? I'm wondering how that's kind of like assembled. Why are you showing that?
Yeah, these if you unscrew these 2 screws, this whole piece comes off, and then there's 4 windows and emitter that are on the actual hilt there. So when you power it on, it's shining through and reflecting. You just get this glow behind the shroud, which I think is really cool.
Now, I believe I can put in stuff on the silver one of those, which I'm going to be getting installed pretty soon.
And I guess number 5 would be my Exalted. This is a baselit RGB, and this saber is just incredible.
I will not be undermined by creatures bred in some laboratory.
With General Krell being one of my favorite hilts, sound fonts on here.
Oh, that.
Yeah. So I think that's probably my top 5 when it comes to favorites, and that's all CFX Golden Harvest. 2 of them were Golden Harvest, and the other 3 were CFX. All NeoPixel, except for this one. This was baselit. Honorable mention would be the Commando. I think this is a really sweet saber, which you also have this. Is yours weathered or is it still standard?
It's weathered now. I weathered the hell out of it, actually.
Yeah. This is a great saber too, I think.
I have a Reaver as well, but my Reaver's only it has the what is it? The Pico
It
Crumble.
was an FX. Pico Crumble. Yeah.
Pico Crumble. It's the dark side version. It's funny. I actually I have 4 FX NeoPixels. 3 of them have the dark side, and 1 has the light side. That's my Skylar. It's lit. Like I said, Isaac has himself a flagship that he's working on. So what are you looking to? I mean, you're kind of focusing right now on installing hilts that you already have. So we'll get into what hilts you are going to be doing installs on, because I think that'd be interesting for everyone to see, what you've got coming in, if that's something you can do. I have actually a saber with Rebel sabers that they're working on for me. They've been working on for a while. It's a Terran Malchus Jedi saber. That's going to have golden harvest. That's going to be NeoPixel. It's going to have a crystal chamber and everything. So that's been sort of a slow grind. I've been making payments on that because although they're really being generous with me, it's still fairly expensive for me, a saber. Other than that, I've been just trying to get my hands on a Vader, and I tried purchasing a Vader from someone on the Facebook Marketplace, but that's been kind of going a little bit strangely. So I'll see where that goes. But if that falls through, I may be getting a Vader from Jesse from Kyberphonic. He apparently has one that's available, and I've yet to see it yet, but I'm definitely interested in buying that. And right now, I'm just kind of, as far as hilts that I'm looking forward to getting, I just, now that I have my graphics as modest as this thing is, I definitely would like to get myself a nice Vader, and then once I get my Dooku saber from you, that kind of qualifies as having got my hands on all my unicorns pretty much. So
it's a nice hilt. Actually, when I was filming the the Mark II unboxing, I did the intro demo with the Mark I, and as when I got done doing it, I was like, man, this is going to be hard to part with because I like it so much, especially that I have the auxiliary switch right here at the pinky, so I can do all the spins and stuff, and not not feel awkward trying to get to the bottom. It's a
That-
great
that was
saber.
one of- I
I'm
watched it.
actually amazed that I installed it. Like when I put it down, I was like, "Did I install this? Like I installed this. I did a good job on this."
Well, I'll
But,
definitely really, really good care of that thing. It's going to be a prized possession of mine. Just like if I manage to get my hands on it, the thing is, it's like when you get your hands on a saber that was kind of installed by certain people. Like I have a Main Mark One, which was installed by Shamim, the legendary Shamim.
legendary,
Uh,
yeah.
Complete with like one of his own alien themed sound fonts, and that I just put a new speaker in that thing, and damn, I'm so happy that it sounds so much better. And yeah, I mean, it's just, and then to get a saber that was owned by, I don't, I'm not like fanboying or anything like that, but like Jesse's pretty cool. He provides like the community so many just amazing sound fonts. I mean, he's the dude, and to get a saber that was his, it's just kind of like a nice connection to to a really cool dude. And then of course I have your sense on to get my hands on the Mark II that was installed by you. It's just gonna be like, I'll be like 84. Like, yes, my friend Emery, he showed me. Yeah, it doesn't work anymore. It broke like 2 years after I bought it for some reason. It was really crappy construction. I mean, the whole thing melted right out the back. It was a nightmare.
That will not happen.
The smoke I was never able to get the smoke out of the building. It's like
So you're talking about my installs and stuff. I actually did start last week trying to install my ASP saber, the Baron, with the Saber Forge Golden Harvest DIY kit, and I ran into some hiccups on that one. Grab the
which help
camera here.
Which
the my ASP saber, the Baron. So
okay.
Here, if I can get that right, yeah. So I've been working on it, and I have wired up the board and everything, and the SD card is in there. Here's the chassis with the battery in there, and here's the NeoPixel connector, and it would not fire up, and I'm not really sure why. I checked everything on the wiring guide, and I just don't know why it's not working.
It's a bad board, maybe. It could be probably just something simple like that, or like one component in the board. It's like circuitry
I
layout.
think it could be a faulty board, because I tried to test it with another battery, and it just I got no power, no juice, no nothing. So I'm going to take it all apart and start from scratch again, and not use a wire they provided, but actually use my wire and see if that helps. But
Is there a way to test the board to see if it's like accepting juice? Because I mean, it seems like if you were going to be going through all the hassle of rewiring everything, and the board's like defunct, then where'd you buy the board?
Well, here's the thing. Well, I got it. It was the DIY kit from the Saberforge Etsy shop.
Yeah, actually meant for like Saberforge ASP hilts and whatnot.
But here's the part that I'm a little stumped on is usually when I install a Saber, I'm using a 2.1 millimeter recharge port. I put the kill key in, I wire it all up, I put the battery in, pull the kill key, and then I hear it boot. Well, this uses a micro USB. There is no kill key. So I'm not really sure how it works. But the funny thing is I did install the flagship with it, and I did it so long ago I can't remember how I did it with the micro USB recharge port, because I've got that right here. That's the micro USB recharge port. So there was no kill key, so I'm not sure. I can't remember exactly how I did it, but it worked. I mean, and I did a two button configuration. So I did it so long ago. I can't remember how I did it, but I didn't need a kill key on that one, obviously, and I still got it to work just fine. So I'm going to just take it apart again. And here's the thing. I like installing sabers. It's very therapeutic and relaxing for me. But the sad part is when it doesn't go well, I don't want to like get frustrated. I just take a break from it. And so I started it last Saturday, and I haven't touched it since then when it didn't work. Because to wire up a saber and get it working, I can do that in a couple hours. Like half a day, boom, it's done, it's working. So it doesn't take a long time to install a saber. But I'm just disappointed that it didn't fire up. So, and that's the first saber I've ever installed that did not fire up. What's up, Darth Ravens? Glad to see you in the house. Happy Friday, my brother.
We're having a Zach attack. Warning.
Oh, and Shannon's here too, dude. That Halloween video, man. I showed that to my wife, and she's like, "That is." I've shared Shannon's video when he had that faceless man mask on in the hallway. I've shared that with so many of my friends, and they all said it was fucking cool and looked like a horror movie. Like, dude, Shannon, you killed it on that. But man, that shit is creepy, dude.
So Shannon, how was the show? He went to see oh damn, what's her name? The comedian. I know her name. I just can't think of it right now. They were great. My 5 sabers are upstairs. And I'm not going to get them because it's just like they clunk and clank and clink.
Because he's lazy. Really what it is, folks,
I
it's an
am
excuse because he knows that my top 5 sabers are better than his top 5 sabers.
Careful.
I mean, I'm guessing Saber Mock Spectre is up there. I'm guessing that's one of them.
That would probably be.
I would guess probably maybe both your GCS sabers. Let me guess the
GCS sabers.
Yeah, your Creed and your Vector.
I don't know, not necessarily.
No?
I'd probably it would probably be my Spectre is the most expensive saber they own. The Senza I bought from you is fabulous. I mean, I love that thing.
Oh, that's probably the top 5 too. I mean,
it has the OLED screen, and the thing is like for me, it's not necessarily about the install. I love my Conspirator, my JQ Sabers Conspirator is one of my dearest sabers. It's just an analog Scotty V4, but I would not trade that for any. I'm not saying this to be confrontational. I would not trade that for any of your sabers. I love my Conspirator, and like a lot of my sabers are. It's more like I really really love my Sovereign. My Sovereign is just brilliant, even though it's not an elite. And I mean, I've got hilts.
Shannon killed it, man. Shannon killed it.
I would say that I have sabers that like might not in everyone else's eyes compete with yours, but for me, they're like they mean a lot to me and I love them, So it's just like
and that's the other thing. Like beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, and there are some sabers like I have a saber that has a Nano Biscotti V4 that's not that special, but I still like it very much, and that's my Blue Force saber that I got from Adam. I love that saber, and I had 2 people ask me to buy it, and I offered it up for one, and I started spinning it, and I said, you know what? So I actually asked for a much higher price just so they would say no.
And that's how we became friends.
Because I
This
just
is why I have
like
mine
that saber
right
so much.
here.
Oh, well.
The battery's dead.
I'll see if mine is. Ladies and gentlemen, Grey Paladin is just superior to the paradigm in every way.
Well, you're a dick. I'm about to say, yeah, man, this saber is like how I became friends with Grey Paladin. We bought these at the same time, and then we were talking, and then we became friends.
Hey,
And
how
then
about
we
you
were
power
really
yours
close.
on in 3,
And
2,
then, like
1?
years later,
Oh wait, yours doesn't turn on.
what a dick. This isn't fun anymore.
But yeah, this is a cool saber. Like I like the saber a lot. And it's you can tell it's
Yo,
it's
you should let me
amateurish,
charge
it's
mine up
basic,
for a little while.
but it's really well.
It's been
Sure.
sitting-
We'll wait. We'll slow down greatness for
At least
you.
mine has a blade plug. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think I took mine out. I had a nice. Well, the blade depth is so
I
long. in this thing.
I wish that Adam from Blue Force would like throw up more of this kind of stuff.
Yeah, me
And,
too.
like, and
I would get another one.
I wish he would like just take another Ultra Sabers randomly and like make it into something nice. I mean, like I really like his new hilts and the shit that he's producing, but I don't have enough money. I don't make enough money to be like buying his stuff because it's just like it's really high end bougie and what can I say? Yeah. I wish this thing was charged. I really do because I feel like this was the straw. This broke the evening. This is why I've lost, and I admit it. But you and I, there's a third one of these out there somewhere. Remember when we were trying to find out?
Yes, there is a third, and I remember you posted a comment, and no one spoke up about who got that third one.
Yeah.
It's just too sad because I would like to know.
What's the blade color on yours? It's not RGB. Is it?
Mine is a lime green.
Oh, that's cool. Mine's like
It's a single color.
violet or something.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid to use it because like I had the pommel on one of mine, because they're 3D printed. One of the pommels kind of shit the bed and won't stay on anymore. This is the spare pommel that he gave me. And I'm just afraid to use it because I just don't trust 3D printed stuff, which is why I just kind of keep it on the shelf and I just look at it from time to time. I don't know. And it's an Abascati V4, so I mean,
Scott, I really like the Nano Biscotti V4, and I have another empty board that I haven't used yet. I think I'm going to install it into my Saberforge Eco Aggressor, but I really like the Nano Biscotti V4. It's a great board.
That's what I'm like. This. I'm like,
So nice.
if I could put a down Biscotti V4 in like half of my hilt, I'd be so happy. It's the simplest, most like functional. I mean, but it only does like 2 different things, on, off, and clash.
Yeah, you don't even get blaster block, and that's okay because I don't miss it. Like I just like swinging. And light meat, gray meat, dark meat, great sound fonts.
They're great sound fonts. I replaced them immediately. I mean, there's so many. I got that. I got the Legacy collection from Kesa, and I think like most of those are compatible.
Scott, look at BK's comment. He feels like he has beer goggles on watching your side because you're so blurry. Fix your internet. Got that Walmart connection.
According to this, the strength is good.
everyone, the dark side clouds everything.
Yep, I don't know what to say. You can blame Comcast if you want.
Yeah, they're hit or miss. Sometimes they're really awesome, and other times they just don't hit the mark.
No, they're mostly miss. Although when the guy came to do the work on the
I'll tell you why. They've gotten too big to function properly. That's really what it is.
does that sound pretty much like the entire world?
Yeah. So, me being in Belgium, I have the luxury of, I actually work for NATO, and I'm at what's called SHAPE, the Supreme Headquarters Allied Powers Europe. And so basically, like, what
Do you have a helicopter?
so like what Dwight Eisenhower was at the end of World War II, that command and that headquarters, that's where I'm stationed now. And so there's a 4-star general here that is like the same role that Eisenhower was during World War II. And looking at all these different countries, because there's now 30 countries in NATO, because North Macedonia just joined NATO, of which I played at their entrance ceremony. Now that there's 30 nations in NATO, and I get to see how they all kind of work, and it's too big to function well. I'll just leave it at that. But it's very interesting to see, though. Oh, Ike already declared me the winner of the first round. Russians might be watching this. If they are, it cheers to you. Keep providing that great vodka for us.
It's not like my anytime soon. We just received a new router from Comcast to replace the old router. It's the old phone call, and then it said, you have to get the new box, or nothing's going to be compatible anymore. And everything's been shit after that, and it just happened last weekend, I believe.
Yeah, I don't miss Comcast, but in some way I do. Well, actually, my internet connection is better than yours right now, so never mind. I guess I shouldn't say anything. I have Proximus. It's like one of the big.
How would you like
Proximus and Orange? Those are the big carriers in Belgium.
It doesn't matter. Everything in my country is broken anyway right now. So why not the internet, right?
Yeah. Well, Europe's not that much better.
Well, I get the distinct
actually, Ike, a couple of these sabers you can take off my hands. I've got too many of them. I need to start selling these and getting rid of some.
As far as I'm concerned, he can have everything that's like downstairs here, other than my creed. Wait,
is your Senza down? Is your Senza downstairs?
No, my Senza's not down here. I've got this thing. This thing's pretty cool. This is I just saw a posting. I guess what was, I can't remember, Nathan from something Space Outpost, whatever, Sabers.
That's that katana looking. Yeah, I remember that.
He's kind of having issues completing commission. People complaining, but the LEDs on this thing are pretty nice. It's just a stun saber, but kind of fits into the whole katana craze. I like it. The funny thing is it had just a normal blade retention screw in here, but that got like stripped to the point where Like I don't have a screw that fits in here, so I just took a like kind of a metal screw and drove it right into the blade. Hold that in. It's got a. It's got like a. I don't know. I think it's a really it's an older Ultra Sabers blade because look at it, it's got like a bullet tip. I have no idea where this blade came from. Maybe it would be Saber Forge.
It looks like a V4 Infinity blade.
Just about every Saber down here is probably the batteries are dead because I never use any of them. They're just here for comfort. You know, I don't think we're going to be going much past 9 tonight, to be perfectly honest. Not like last time. I mean, that's
9. I'm not even sure what was it. 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. That's 2 a.m. for me. Oh, that's like in 10 minutes.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. Let's put that up there.
Yes, I agree with you, Day One Gray, that practice starts with the stunt saber. Yeah. I don't feel bad or nervous. Like when I was really starting to spin, it was with, a stunt saber because I don't feel bad if I drop it. I mean, you can beat them up; it's no problem.
Some people have real problems with stunt sabers. I mean, even
I
like
don't see why. I mean, think about it. I mean, like before we had all these fancy CFX, Golden Harvest Profi stuff, it was stunt sabers. You took a flashlight, you put a blade on that, and that was it. Remember when Ultra Sabers was doing those color discs, those little color discs, so you can.
They still do, don't they?
I don't know. Probably, maybe, I don't know. But essentially, that's the big thing about Ultra Sabers. They look like dinosaur hilts because they're basically just flashlights. You put your little lens in there, you can change the colors, Like when I look at this hilt here, I don't see lightsaber. I see flashlight. This was a stunt saber. It was an orange LED. There's no batteries in here. But this is what I practice with, though. I mean, when I was doing a lot of flow stuff, I was practicing with this thing right here.
It's funny how that company was just so. I mean, it was so just relevant when I first started in the saber community. Everything kind of revolved around them. I used to watch City of Sabers channels and everything. He had every single Ultra Sabers that came out, and it's amazing how irrelevant they became in the last 2 years. In the last year specifically, when everybody started realizing how woefully inadequate their technology was, and then that pathetic attempt that they made to update everything, without actually really updating it just whatever.
Mr. Chuck Shot, yes, it is definitely Belgian beer. BK is definitely right on that, and I'll tell you why. The Belgians are all about their beer to a point where they don't even make wine. Really, it's all about the beer. And most U.S. microbreweries are inspired by Belgian or model themselves or try to mimic Belgian beers. So, yeah, Belgian beer all the way. Sorry, Scott.
What's with you tonight? You're so competitive.
I'm not.
I'm just having to try to have a nice, relaxing live stream.
Hey,
the
I'm not
time.
the lazy one who didn't want to go upstairs and bring down 5 sabers for a lightsaber live stream.
Do you have an upstairs?
I do. I'm upstairs right now, actually.
Oh, okay. We see. It's convenient.
Yeah, because I put all my sabers in one room. That's why.
Yeah, well, I apologize, everyone. It's been a long week.
And this is why we're here. And Commander Dale said that his one Electrum Sabercraft saber is a paperweight. And I will say that I unboxed mine and I tinkered with it once, and it's been sitting on the shelf ever since. So mine could just as well be a paperweight too. That's another one I need to update too. I need to update that one with the new firmware and check it out and really tinker with it again. I just haven't found the time or the drive to do it.
As far as parting any kind of knowledge about the Electrum Sabercraft's update, the thing is like the Unity app 2 and the update to the Sabers. So I don't really feel like the Sabers perform that much differently than they did prior to the update, but the app is a lot more viable. It's still glitchy, but not quite as glitchy, but it's glitchy in different ways. But it's more functional. I don't know. It's just like the whole system just involves so much work to get to a point where you have like the Saber performing to any degree that you feel comfortable with. Now I just picked up the Neophyte, and I do love that hilt, but you almost have to accept it for its flaws, and it definitely doesn't sound as good. I mean, that I did that the sound font demo with Juan Sith's I can't even remember what sound font it was, but
yeah, and honestly, from the video, it sounded like it was pretty good. Like how you were swinging and everything. It sounded good.
It just doesn't have access to all of the work that goes into a sound font. Like if you put any good font maker sound font onto it, it'll perform adequately, but it won't really capture the artistry of the sound font as well as like a CFX or a Golden Harvest.
I need someone to show me my place in all this.
I don't even remember how to use this thing. I hate this saber. Oh, there it goes.
I was okay.
Yeah. It just doesn't do it for me because I don't feel the accents in this. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the D3. The hilt itself, I like the remnant. I like this. I think most of the hilt designs are very nice. I don't like the soundboard. And I feel like they overthought it. And you put all this work in and for very little payoff. Now, I think the Stunt Sabers, their system is much better than the D3. I feel like it's done right. But again, there's no accent swings on this one either. I can swing it all day. There's no accent. I still need to do a review on this. I haven't done that yet. This is a nice saber.
You received that a while ago.
Say again?
You've had that for a while.
Yeah, I have. Like maybe 2 months, I think.
I haven't reviewed my Spectre either. I don't know why. It's just kind of like I just haven't really been feeling like sharing my Spectre. It's hard to explain. It's very strange.
Well,
it's a fickle beast. This community. Yeah. See, I've got this much. Do you think? So, who wants me to pound this?
I do.
All right. Well, comments. I need at least 5, and then I'm gonna pound this. Go. Come on. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Do it.
Now. Now.
Do it.
I'll have a surprise at the end if I get 3 more. Cheers. Okay, that's 3. Come on, 2 more.
How do you say one more and then go 2
One
more?
more. One more. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Do it. Gallo. Do it.
Unlimited power.
Damn, you pounded that quick. Okay, so I feel like I have to grab another beer now,
I'm a lot.
which will definitely put me over because 2 12% and I'm feeling it. Let's do one more, and when those are gone, we'll call the stream.
Okay.
BK says grab another, so you got to do it.
Oh boy.
But the next one I'm gonna have is a 9.5%. So
What? I just opened up a 12.
well then, yeah, drink the 12. You
You're drinking a
deserve
12
it.
too.
You deserve it. I don't have another 12.
Okay. Well, fair enough. I just got beer.
I'm gonna now. I actually have to go downstairs to my kitchen to grab my other ones out of the fridge. So I shall return.
All right. Oh no, what did I just do?
Please entertain the masses.
No guarantees.
Don't bore them.
All right, there we go. I got my computer wet, and damn it. So what? Should I just like pound this? He'll come back and nah, I can't do that. I can't do that to my friend. Plus, I might not survive it. This is like way too strong. I do intend on buying 4 more of these tomorrow, by the way, if I have time. I gotta go out with my friend. She's buying a computer. It's an interesting day. Tiny is silly thing. Where'd it go? All right. The Viper? What Viper? I don't. What saber's the Viper? I don't have a Viper. Not that I'm aware of. Oh, the Colonial Viper. Oh, yeah, actually, took me a while to make the connection. That was from what the hell, Hot Topic. They actually sent me an ad, and they said they were having a sale. And being a Battlestar Galactica fan, I had to get my hands on the Viper there. Yeah, that's Starbucks. The Starbucks Viper. So creepy. Yeah. Not a real big fan of the Cylon Raider, but I would definitely like to someday get possibly the Galactica and maybe the Pegasus. Yeah, I like to get the original Viper. So many things I'd like to buy. I just don't have the space and or the money really. So you have to be really selective. But I've always loved the Colonial Viper as a starfighter design. One of my other favorite designs for a starfighter from any science fiction was from Buck Rogers. They called it the Starfighter. I'm talking about the television store that used to star Jill Gerard back in the 80s. But I'm a big starfighter fan. If it's a single pilot, spacefaring fighter of some variety. Obviously, the X-wing has always been one of my favorites. But yeah, Corbath has vipers. Yeah, he like probably goes in there and adds a lot of detail to it and makes it like $400 or $500 piece, and that only costs probably $25-$30. That's pretty
I
much it.
have returned.
We were just talking about the Battlestar Galactica Viper that I have behind me, right here.
Blood calls out for blood.
That's a Starbucks Viper up there. It's a beautiful thing.
Bring back DP's 5 sabers while you at it.
That ship has sailed. Everyone, let it go. I'm cutting us off right now.
Oh, I'm getting caught up in the comments here.
I like the Naboo fighter too. I think the Naboo fighter was pretty effective. I mean, like you had a little kid flying one. Of course, he had a brand new astromech droid. Helping him. He was able to do some like neat tricks and just fly right into the middle of the
Perfect pour.
he was able to fly into the middle of that whole ship. And
Bam! Perfect pour.
Yay! Good for you.
Look at that head. Look at that head. Look at that head. This is a Saint-Fouillon Grand Cru.
Das Boot.
Dry hopping 1873. Oh.
Wow, I swear. That's a really, really impressive deal. That's very impressive. Why don't we do the rest of the live stream talking like this? We'll be on season. So I hear you are working on a new sonnet lately.
Sonnet.
Tell us, how is that coming out?
That's impressive, Isaac. You've been married for 28 years. It's been a year, and I'm already going crazy, but it's awesome.
What they say, happy wife, happy life.
That's right. That's right. Total bullshit. But yeah, that's right. Oh man, Oktoberfest, dude. BK, the Germans hosted an Oktoberfest here 2 weeks ago, and I had a blast. And I've got my lederhosen too. I wore that. Yep. I saw. I will show you my lederhosen right now.
Oh, great. Any chance he gets to whip out the lederhosen.
Oh, yeah. I love the lederhosen. Oh, man. Yes.
Why don't you put that on, you sexy beast? Lederhosen exhibitionist over here.
My wife is German, so, gotta love Oktoberfest.
She has her regrets, I'm sure. Some of the photos that you showed me from when you were at what the hell? God, I am a little drunk. When you were on one of your day trips in Germany, and you went to God, I feel like I'm at work. Whenever I'm at work, I can't think of names. But you were let's just say that you were on a podium, and your wife was probably taking photos of you, and there was a certain individual who we will not name here because I don't want to hear about it. A certain individual from history also spoke on that podium, would probably be very chagrined.
Oh yes. That was when I was in Nuremberg.
Oh,
at the Nazi rally grounds.
rally
And I
ground.
was standing on the same podium that Adolf someone, a chancellor of Germany in the 30s and 40s,
right
stood
there
on.
for the last 1,000 years that just kind of really felt a little bit shy.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Gallic, yes, I
Those were
did just get
beautiful.
I got the email too about the Talon Mark II from Saberforge. Yeah, it looks good.
Talon Mark II, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, I probably got that email. I just didn't see it because I was.
It says it now includes the thread-in blade connector, which significantly increases the blade brightness. I will say I need to do this. I need to do my review video on the Count Mark II. The thread-in is a great concept, but stay tuned for the video.
Oh, word. My friend's like telling me that we might be driving 4 hours to go get her MacBook Pro. Oh boy, I'm not too sure about that. Let's see. I want to see this Talon. Come on, show me the good stuff. Come on, see. There it is. Talon Mark II. Ooh. Here.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens when you drink 12% beer. Live streams get pretty silly pretty quickly.
Let's see. Can you see that? Probably.
Yep.
Sort of.
Yep.
Kind of, sort of.
But
Wow.
honestly, I'm not a huge fan of the Talon. I don't like the emitter. It doesn't do anything for me.
I have a speaker coming for mine. I tried to fit in a nice, 8-watt or whatever it is, like bassy kind of speaker. It didn't fit. There's just like a lot of the Saberforge hilts just have a really finite amount of space, and so I had to go with kind of like that little thin speaker. I don't know. The speaker that was in there was obviously burnt out and everything, but. So anyway, restock update. They have the Acolyte, the Adept, which is the Adept with the Ezra, the Arbiter, Bastion. I have stuff with that. Disciple Shota and Eris. I have an Eris. Fury Mark II. I really like the Fury Mark II. I like the bluing that they do on the emitter in that one. Oracle, Sorcerer, and a Paladin. Yeah, I've gotten about a Paladin that one tonight. But the Sorcerer sounds pretty good. I definitely won't mind getting a Sorcerer one of these days. What are you doing back there?
So you're talking about the thin speakers. These speakers are trash.
Yeah, one of those. That's what I had to order.
These are trash. If you ever see this speaker, if you have an option to replace it, do it, because they sound like shit.
That's the only thing that fits into like the Talon. That's the only. There's just like no room for anything else. Literally.
No, I call bullshit on that. I call bullshit
No.
on that, because I've installed a couple of Saberforge hilts. There's no way this is the only speaker you can fit in there. It depends on the chassis that you have, but these are trash.
Yeah,
you gotta have a high base.
I'm not an installer. I'm not like. Yeah, because I tried. That's exactly what I tried to put in there. It did not fit. It absolutely would not fit. And
as far as like depth, or okay,
yeah, and there just wasn't enough room to play around in there, and I'm just not an installer. If I start like soldering things, other than a speaker.
Yeah, you said you were gonna get like a solder. Oh, I never sent you the link for the soldering station. I need to do that. I apologize.
Like I probably wouldn't have gotten around to it anyway. But like I can send you my Talon if you want to like try to go nuts and see if you can do an install. But it's just not worth it. I mean, I just want to put like a basic speaker in there.
No,
like,
yeah, send me that shit. Trust me. I will fit a CFX in that sucker and install you with a 28 millimeter bass speaker, and you'll be good to go. If
I send you something, it's going to be like a one replicas or something from like KR Sabers or something. Like I'll send you a mom before I send you anything. I'll have you install a mom for me, and like give
Oh.
me like a nice LS6, like freaking like Luke. Like,
Now, I have a good friend that installed, an LS6, and those are not easy installs because there's not a lot of room in those things.
yeah, challenge.
So don't send me one of those. I'm not a.
Ah. Okay, but
I'm gonna try to do Black Friday day one, but we'll see. I'm debating if I want to get that new hilt from Saber. We need to talk about that, Scott. The new hilt from Saber Trio. I'm debating if I want to get that or
touched
not.
upon it lightly, but not real. I mean, I don't really. I kind of don't feel a need for it. I mean, to me,
Correct.
I
I will
just
say this: it looks cool, but it's very underwhelming for me. I don't feel a need to order that. Like when the Senza came out, I was like, yeah, I need to order that. When the Reaver came out, I said, I'm ordering that right now. This new thing, I don't feel a need to order it.
a lot of people have the Vectra, like Zach has the Vectra, Shannon has the Vectra. A lot of my friends have the Vectra.
No, the Vectra doesn't do anything for me either. To me, the
I'm
Vectra is trying too hard with all the emitter window stuff.
I
the
think
Vectra
it's a
just
beautiful
doesn't.
hilt. It's completely different than the Senza. I'm happy that I own that. I'm so happy that I bought that from you. That I'm just totally like that is my preeminent Saber Trio. So now I just kind of like I'm a spectator and I just look at what they come out with. If anything, like someday I would like to maybe take my Reaver and update it to a CFX. That's about it. Because it really reminds me of the Reaver a lot. It's sort of like an amalgam of the Reaver and the Vectra. It's a very nice.
I like the symmetry from the emitter to the pommel.
It just wasn't what I wanted to see from Saber Trio. I wanted to see something a little bit more adventurous, something that didn't really necessarily fall upon the lines of everything else that they've been,
Correct. It's just very plain.
It's not enough of a departure. I kind of wanted to see and I'm grateful that they didn't actually produce it because I don't really want to spend the money on it. But I would like to I'd like to see what they could do with a curved hilt or a cross.
I'll be honest. If I can get my hands on a Skylar during Black Friday, I will order that. But I'm not going to get anything else.
Skylar
at this point, Scott, I want to get a Saberforged veteran tier so we can do that unboxing, after the holidays live stream with that. But I don't think I'm going to order anything else.
I wish
if I can get my hands on a Skylar, I'll do it. But other than that, I think I'm done.
I like the Vulcan. I definitely wouldn't mind picking up a Vulcan, but I mean, I wouldn't want to get that. And they're only selling the explorations. They're
broke
great.
up. We didn't really catch any of that.
Anyway.
I think you said they're only selling NeoPixel, but I think their FX now is all CFX baselit, and then you can get the Neo Saber CFX. And if I get a Skylar, I'm totally going to get baselit on that one.
Trying to find a new
day one. You were talking about. You said you liked my. Let me scroll back up. This is like that station and the kit. Yeah, so over here, I'll just pull off my camera again. Over here, I have my lightsaber workstation. And right there is my soldering iron. There we go. So use that. And then here's my magnetic protective mat. Got my bracelet here to, ground everything. My helping hands. I attach this to the table there so I can, do what I need to. On my wire, I work here, and then here I've got all my parts and other stuff too. So yeah, it's a good station. I do what I need to there. Get my sabers installed. Pretty good stuff. Someone who said something about Smuggler's Outpost speakers. Let me scroll up here. Oh, BK, yeah. I heard the Smuggler's Outpost speakers are supposed to be very loud and handle a lot. And I'll say, me personally, I like the WoW speaker more than the Smuggler's Outpost, and I've compared them directly. But again, like the custom saber shop has, if you go to, it's the most expensive speaker that they have. It's the Saber Essentials Stealth speaker. That sucker is by far the loudest speaker that I've ever heard. The bass may not be as rich as WoW, but it definitely has the value. And I put that in my Vanquish because when I installed this, the speaker is way up here in the body, and the pommel isn't vented very well. So when I put a regular speaker in there, it just wasn't very loud. So I ordered that Saber Essential Stealth speaker, and it was by far the loudest speaker I've ever heard. Like, this is my loudest speaker and Saber, and the venting of the pommel isn't even that great. So I actually ordered one of these, a 24 millimeter, to put into my Count Mark II to try to boost the volume on this, because the speaker is not very good at all. But I love this saber. This is the sidearm of Gray Paladin, or Baron Dreist, which is my cosplay. I still need to do a video on that. I told the viewers that I would do a video on my cosplay, and I have not done that yet. So I need to do that. Stay tuned.
Are you going to use the same degree of creativity that you used when you were doing your Shining bit?
Hey, that was a cool intro. Like, I literally just thought of that like on the fly. I was just moving in. I had a bunch of boxes. I was like, okay, I can shred some of these boxes, and I just did that Shining clip. That was fun. I had fun doing that one.
What did you say when you came through the door?
Well, I opened with Padawans, let me come in. And then I just said, "Here's Paladin." Yeah, instead of "Here's Johnny," I said, "Here's Paladin."
Here's Paladin.
Here's Paladin. I did the crazy eye. Here's Paladin. And I figured you would appreciate that one, because I know you watch a lot. You know the classic movies. So.
Yeah, of course. I mean, like the the Shining.
And I called it the light.
Dang, Jack. Yeah. Has anybody seen Shelley Duvall these days? Shelley Duvall does not look like Shelley Duvall did in The Shining. Let's just put it. We'll leave it at that. She's come upon hard times. Poor thing. I think she's still producing though. Producing, movies and content. Let's see.
Trying to catch up on some of the comments here.
Yeah. Are you allowed to select comments and do anything with them, or is that strictly?
I can't, because I'm not. It's not my my room. Because I tried. Only you can do that.
I wish I could give you that power.
Ask Day One Gray. That's really cool. Ask Mom, can you have us over? Yeah, BK, the WoW speaker is really nice. Really nice.
Speaking of stunt sabers, we were talking about stunt sabers earlier. I just kind of felt compelled to pull this thing out. It's just a simple. It's my Mira with a Arctic blue blade here. Real simple. This was my last Saber Trio.
Welcome.
My last Saber Trio Etsy purchase before they stopped doing them.
I miss the Saber Trio
You
Etsy
remember,
store.
you remember that when you could go to the Etsy store and you could
That's
go,
where I got the sensor.
me one. No, I'm talking about like not even like a holiday special, like just their plain old Etsy store. Like I went there and I'm like, me want saber. Oh yes. Oh, I can have a stunt saber in like 2 weeks. Thank you very much. Be happy. And then they sent me this thing, and it's just like you know, like as far as dueling goes, this would be the perfect dueling saber. This thing is like
Oh, yeah.
so diesel. The battery lasts forever. It's bright as it's bright. The blue is gorgeous. The hilt is just like completely like I don't know. This thing's just
Got satellite connection, Scott. Turtle Helm, how long did it take for you to get your repair back? Because I need to send in my Reaver, and I'm just curious what the lead time is on that.
for me. It took me about a month to get my Aaron back. I think.
That's not too bad.
No, they're really quick. Saber Trio just they killed it.
Day one, when are you going to get a fresh video up? Because you used to have some epic edits and videos up, and I haven't seen some kind. And I made sure I hit the bell on your shit, and I haven't seen anything since I've subscribed. So when are you going to hook us up, man? Come on, brother. 2 weeks. That's really good, Turtle.
You know, the thing is a lot of people really, none of us have been producing the level of content that I think we're normally accustomed to
Well,
producing.
the frequency, yeah. Like I get onto YouTube and I hit my subscriptions tab, and I'm like, damn, like no one's got anything up right now. Like, and it's disappointing because there's not a lot. It's not a lot of content out there, but I'm not delivering either. Like I'm trying to do something every week, and I haven't. Although I need to do something tomorrow afternoon. I'm gonna do either my Mark II count review or my Defender review. But I have to get caught up on. Shit, I gotta get caught up on this one. I gotta get this one reviewed. This Rebel. Gosh, I can't remember what this one came from. It was on Etsy, but I got to get this one reviewed too. And then that stunt saber, I have to get that one reviewed as well.
I think everyone's just been like too overwhelmed.
Life happens. Yeah, life happens.
Yes, exactly. And I think a lot of it's financial too.
Coronal Sanders chicken. Oh, day one, Turtle Helm called you out. It's been over a year, bro. Let's go.
What was it I wanted to check? I was just thinking I wanted to check something, you know.
Day of the return. Okay, that would have been a good one.
Yes. Bear with me.
Cool. Day one's about to get back in the game. That'll be good.
We need more players, you know?
Yeah, we do. Lady Paladin is on, and she said Prost, which is German for cheers.
Really? Oh, yeah.
Go ahead and highlight her comment.
I'm trying to, but see, she exists.
Yeah. Prost.
How is her English?
Very good.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be together if it wasn't.
Well, I mean, you know, you have that savoir-faire. Like, you know, I think you probably would.
Aber mein Deutsch ist nicht so gut. But I try. I try. She says my German's good, but I don't think it is. But I try. I do the best that I can.
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful language. I mean, like I had a friend of mine who was he or she, so a transgender friend of mine had a friend in Germany, and so she was.
Germany is a beautiful country. It really is. I mean,
No,
they have
dude, I
some
see the
they have
pictures.
some really messed up laws and rules, but overall, it's a very beautiful country. And when you
I
take COVID out, there's a lot of great things to see and do there. I fell in love with it, obviously, and I married one because it's all beautiful.
I would very much. I'm very very envious of you. This is a path that I probably would have taken if I was given the opportunity. But
I'll tell you what,
Dude, my
Scott.
brother's military.
If you ever have the means to swing out this way to Europe, you
Dude.
have a home to stay and visit and saber and all of it and all the beer. We get you some real Belgian beer or even some German beer, and we'll live it up.
Just find me a printing place to work at. I'll learn the language. I have no.
You won't learn the language. I've been trying for 3 years, and I'm still struggling.
Look,
there's a saying. It's called "Deutsche Sprache, schwere Sprache," and that's speaking German is very difficult. Basically,
I don't really have any particular need to remain in this particular country for the remainder of my existence on this planet. My intention is to travel at some point. Okay, who
Ike.
sending me photos and videos.
Yes, Ike. She is a very beautiful woman, and I am a very lucky man.
They want Grace like sending all this like stuff. My phone's just going like bing, 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 bing. It's like thanks.
Well, good, Day One Gray. You know, because I know you got a lot of sabers because I've seen you commenting on stuff. So would love to see you showcasing some of that. Now that things are starting to wind down a little bit, you can bring your essence back to the community.
All right. So, dude, what are you doing? All right.
No, he's saying that, Saskia, because it's true. You are so Lady Paladin went grocery shopping and someone had the nerve to touch her butt in a public store.
Yeah. Okay.
If I was there, he would have had his ass whooped. Just saying.
That sounds fun.
Oh, check my messenger.
Let's see. Okay. This thing doesn't work. It works.
Scott, your internet sucks, man. You're all choppy and pixelated.
Tonight, yeah. Okay. So you want me to go away? I will.
And I'm impressed that I'm able to say pixelated after having 3 strong Belgian beers.
Oh God. Oh, great. Okay. Yes, I saw Day One. All right.
Yeah, Day One. I haven't gotten any messages here, so try again.
No. Sorry. No.
So Day One says he sent them to you. Almost 30 something sabers now. Oh, because I think I'm up to 30 sabers. Something like that.
You got yourself a sovereign? Damn it. All right. Okay.
There is no disrespect here whatsoever from anyone. This is a great community, and I'm very happy to be a part of it. And I say I'm not a big social media person, but I've never been like to broadcast myself on the internet and drink beer with my good friend Scott. And this is awesome. So.
Other than the fact that my internet connection is just like a shitstorm, and I apologize. Okay.
Oh, there we go. Now I got Day One Gray's message.
It's never been this bad. I don't know why it's so bad tonight, but anyway.
Yeah, in the past you've been okay, and everyone said that my connection's good, but you, what's going on, Scott? Tell us what's going on, Scott.
Well,
Comcast.
let's just say that corporate America has kind of left me a little bit disappointed,
Scott, show some sabers. Lady Paladin wants to see some sabers.
Oh, bloody sounding hell. Let's see. Okay, so we got the creed. That's the creed.
Fire it up.
Boy, bossy much.
Well, hey, I showed 5 of my top sabers. You were too lazy to go upstairs and get yours. So.
Power on.
Ladies and gentlemen, you guys been sweating my ass all day long.
Selection.
Going. Everyone's seen a lot of action. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Sound bank selection.
I suggest you try it again. This time, let go your conscious self and act on instinct. With the black shield down, I can't even see. How am I supposed to fight? Eyes can deceive you. Don't trust them.
I see you, Day One.
It's all simple tricks and nonsense. Yeah, I've flown from one side of this galaxy to the other, seen a lot of strange stuff, but I've never seen anything to make me believe it's one all-powerful force controlling.
What font is that?
Mystical energy field controls my destiny.
It's the I think it's from Kyberphonic, but I don't know. Like I with the K-Synth and Kyberphonic, they're kind of one and the same to me. But it's the training. It's the A New Hope training sound font. There's 2 sound fonts that you get with the package. They're both like V2, and one's a training, and one's kind of just like more of a. This is the training one. I don't know, but it's like
screaming about your content.
It's not wise or simple.
I felt a great disturbance in the force, as if millions of voices suddenly cried out in terror and were suddenly silenced. I fear something terrible has happened. Remember, Jedi can feel the force going through him.
I absolutely love this song.
Oh, Day One Gray's back. Look at that shit. Oh, come on now. Come on now. Come on now. Yeah, brother, yeah. Oh man, my man is back. Look at that shit. Obi Annie all day.
Okay, what are you watching?
Day One Gray sent me a video with the was that the Wraith or the Wrath? I can't remember the. Oh man, my brother's back. Yeah, you better get that shit up on YouTube quick. Yeah, that the NeoPixel's nice. OLED and Bluetooth. See, okay, so I actually have three Bluetooth modules, and I actually tried to install one in my Saberforge Vanquish. I ended up not doing it because it was drawing a lot of power. But now that I have a kill key in there, I might try to install another Bluetooth. But I have the BT909, I think it is. I need to do another Saber with an actual Bluetooth. So I want to try to do that. I actually have OLED screens too. But the big dilemma that I have is I don't have a chassis. I have one chassis. So actually, when I do my Saberforge, my Ultra Sabers Manticore, I have a chassis that actually will take a OLED screen. And I actually have 2 OLED screens ready to install. So I want to try to do that. And that's going to be up for sale too. That's one of my projects that I have. I'm going to put a Profi with an OLED screen, try to squeeze a crystal chamber in there if I can, and then sell that one. But I've been really holding off on that because it's a more intricate build and I haven't really done it yet. I haven't done it before yet, so that's on my list. But yeah, to have OLED and Bluetooth, that's going to be sweet. All right, Scott, this is almost there, and I'm powering through. I will say, but I'm pretty much there at this point.
Well, now you're there. Oh,
I've been there for a while. I've just been trying to fake it, and I don't think I've been faking it very well.
so you watched all the Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings movies this week, huh? Now,
Yeah,
the question is,
Lord of the Rings is my jam. Lord of the Rings is good. I will
Did you
admit,
watch the
I have not
extended
gotten into
edition?
Harry Potter though.
For Lord of the Rings, did you watch the extended?
Yep.
The extended edition, or did you watch the original theatrical versions? I mean, I kind of.
Well, the first I watched was the theatrical, but when I got the extended,
Oh, yeah.
I did that, and that is like a weekend affair, or a full day affair if you want.
Look, if I visit you, it'll be a Lord of the Rings extended edition, like marathon, like 9 hours of pure Lord of the Rings bliss. Because I mean, especially where Return of the Kings is involved, there's a lot of elements of that story that are just simply left out in the theatrical release for time. That for instance, like when Gandalf shows up during the the battle of the battle at oh god, the hell is it? I can't think of it right now. At the end of the movie,
Which
they're-
one?
the Return of the King, when they're defending Gondor, they're defending Gondor, and at one point, Gandalf shows up and he doesn't have his staff anymore, and he's like, you know, he looks like he just got his ass kicked, and he's, you know, passing out orders and everything, and they don't really explain what happened. And like in the extended edition, they convey that he had just fought the Morgul Witch King, and the Morgul Witch King basically just like he basically like, you know, did a Jedi move against his staff and it exploded in his hand, and then he just proceeded to like whip his butt, you know. And it's just sort of like they cut that out of the original theatrical release, and then they you know, they had that in the extended version, and that just kind of like fleshes out a lot of the story there, you know. I mean, I read the books. It's been a while since I've read them, but you know, it's kind of like Dune. I've read the books. I'm rereading Dune. We can talk about Dune. Have you seen Dune?
The original or the new one?
Now, we don't talk about the original. The new movie.
Yeah.
The new
I
movie.
haven't seen the new one yet, but it is on one of my lists or in my playlist to watch.
Well, I highly recommend it because, you know, if anything, it's just it's beautiful. It's the cinematography is phenomenal.
You know what, Scott? You're beautiful.
Thanks.
Even though you're pixelated and cloudy, you're beautiful. The dark side clouds everything.
What happens when you're dealing with someone who's one quarter Time Lord?
The dark sword.
All right. So, Emery, what do you have left for beer?
Um,
Okay. You want to do this thing? You want to do it? Yeah? You want to just...
trying to... Really?
Huh?
Are we trying to just...
It's up to you. I mean...
Well, day one says chug it. I know I'll be in a rough spot if I do chug this, but if you're about it, then...
Do you want to extend this out a bit longer? I'm just like, you know, I'm trying to feel the room, and I'm feeling a little bit like, hey, we're going to bed. All right, so that to me conveys we got like maybe 10 more minutes, right? 10?
Oh, yeah.
15?
10, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I can't see you because you're doing it. Okay.
I apologize for my internet connection. I don't know why it's shitting on me tonight. I don't know why. Gosh darn it. You just like went full ham.
Because I thought you did, but your it's so crappy. I thought you...
It's your that term. So we're all right, Isaac. I'm chugging it, and then I think we're good. Are we good?
I chugged it. I chugged it.
All right. So
This guy over here, he's
You ready? Okay. Here we go.
We're all ready. We've been ready. Are you there? Did you finish?
I'm a pro.
Well, you're a novice.
What?
You're a novice. And Lady Paladin laughs at you.
She does not. She does not.
But she also said love is in the air.
I'm looking like I'm gonna call this because like I'm embarrassed by the quality of the internet, and I think I'm done.
Liam, yes, I would recommend buying the Fallen Order Eco with Profi because that's what I have and it's awesome. Even Lady Paladin says your internet sucks.
Thanks.
But you can see it in my eyes. Gray Paladin is done. And the sad thing is I'm probably going to watch this tomorrow and be totally embarrassed with how terrible all of this is right now. But this is what happens when you have 12% ABV beer. ABV beer.
So yeah. Well, and on that bombshell, let's wow. I reverted to speaking Japanese.
Yeah, Gallup, it's been sold out for a while. It's a hard saber to get a hold of, but if you can, kudos. And it is ASP compatible, just as a reminder. So, shall we dial this in here and call it?
Yeah, I'm gonna call it. Oyasumi
Well, Scott,
Ray?
thank you
Ray?
for reaching out and inviting me for another live stream. This has been great. For all those that have been commenting, Ike, Turtle, Day One, Commander, BK, all of you, it's been awesome. It's been fun. This has been a really great start to the weekend. So we appreciate you. And as always, may the force be with you. Scott?
Yes, may the force be with you. One thing, is your wife's name Saskia?
Yes.
Well, I wish her a very good night. I'm glad that I was able to interact with her through my meager, unimpressive internet capacity. Welcome to America.
Not yet. We're still in Europe, but you know, yeah.
Dude, you're my brother from another mother. You're my bro.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
I will defend you and your wife to the ends of the earth.
Likewise.
And someday, I will meet you guys.
Someday we will actually have a real toast. We can actually clink our glasses together and have a drink and drink and be merry and enjoy our sabers
without the interference of the fucking
without your shitty internet.
All right, my dear friends. Let's call this a night, and yeah, we will do this next month at some point. And hopefully we'll have another unboxing soiree, and it'll just be like completely badass, won't it?
Hopefully.
Yes!
Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Thank you. Good night. Oyasumi nasai.